I remember like I would get my mom's like big t-shirts and I would put a belt around it and take her high heels and I would get another t-shirt and put it on inside out and put it in a ponytail and just walk around the house like this. So finally I was able to say I'm gay, and she was just quiet. And that silence was deafening and scary. I remember like maybe she said she needed time. She didn't talk to me for about a week, and that week was really hard. I was afraid that I would kind of ruin the dream that he had for like a masculine son. I'm an only child too, so there's kind of that pressure to carry on the family name, to have children, especially on my Tongan side. So
it's a little bit hard, hey?
And I ran out of the truck. I opened the door. I left the door open. I didn't say anything to her. I ran away. I ran into my house, and I felt so bad. We didn't last long after that.
Welcome to the show. Come out, step into the light. I'm Minh Tuấn.
And I'm Anushka.
Welcome our guest today. Hi.
Wow, what a lovely smile.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on your show. My name is Russell. I'm from the US. I'm 34. I work in brand strategy and social media, and I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I love how you say it.
So straight to the point.
Right?
So how long have you been here?
Actually, so I moved to Vietnam in 2013. So I lived here for a few years, and now I split time between Vietnam and the US.
6 years, like you, Anushka.
You've been here for 6 years?
So I lived here full time for 3 years, and then I move around a bit, but always seem to come back to Vietnam. Yeah.
Hey, I think there's some kind of similarity in our accent.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. You've got the not American accent.
I don't know. Some people tell me that sometimes, that I don't have an American accent, but I'm not really sure.
Your parents? Where are your parents from?
So my mom is American. My dad is from a country called Tonga. It's a really small group of islands near like Samoa, Fiji. It's kind of like Moana. Moana is my Disney princess.
That's where I'm getting New Zealandish,
yes.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And New Zealand plays a lot of rugby, and that's why, I don't know why, but a lot of people, when they meet South African people like me, they always think that I'm either Australian or from New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, hey, that accent sounds so familiar.
Yeah, okay, that's probably it.
Yeah, okay, that's probably it. That's not how you sound.
What do you do in Vietnam, like your job?
Yeah, so when I first moved to Vietnam, I was working for a company in the US a technology company. And so I was in charge of insights. So I had a team that was looking at data and writing reports for brands. So I grew an office of about 30 people and managed that.
What's the most interesting thing that you've experienced living in Vietnam so far?
The most interesting thing that I've experienced living in Vietnam so far, I think it's just, so when I was first sent out here, I was actually supposed to go to Australia. And Vietnam was just supposed to be a pit stop. It was supposed to be like maybe 3 months or something. And so I'd visited Vietnam before. If my company asked if I wanted to live here, I would have said no. So after I already moved here, the CEO made the decision. He said, hey, we want you to stay in Vietnam. And that was kind of a crazy time in my life because I'd already left my friends and family, I'd already moved everything, but I had never intended to stay here. So I really struggled at first because it wasn't my plan. But in the end, it was the best thing, I think, probably that maybe ever happened to me because I was so out of my comfort zone here. And I think Australia would have been really similar in a lot of ways to the US. So I guess to answer your question, like, I think because I was so out of my comfort zone, once I fully embraced that, like I grew more here and learned more here about myself and who I was and the type of man that I wanted to be, the type of boyfriend that I wanted to be, than I ever thought possible.
Such emotional intelligence. What? I can't believe it. And do you plan on living in Vietnam for a long time?
I love to visit Vietnam. Right now, I live mostly in the US and sometimes Vietnam. I would love to spend more time here. I'm from a part of the US where it's cold in the winter. So it's my favorite time to come back to Vietnam. So my dream is probably to split time between the US and Vietnam. Yeah, I love it here. So.
Do you think you'd ever live in one place forever?
I think I'm okay. I love having one place as a home base. Like my boyfriend and I have discussions about he would rather have kids and, you know, everything that goes along with that. And my dream is I'd rather see the world and travel. So kids kind of makes it hard.
When you was a young boy, did you realize that you were different from the older boys?
I think so, like not necessarily at the time, but I like to play more with my girl cousins than like my boy cousins. I like to play more with Barbies than G.I. Joes. I like to watch My Little Ponies more than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I was more drawn to feminine things. I remember like I would get my mom's like big t-shirts and I would put a belt around it and take her high heels. And I would get another t-shirt and put it on inside out and put it in a ponytail and just walk around the house like this.
Walk around the house like this. Walk around the house like this.
I guess I didn't think it was different till I started going to school and people pointed out that it was different. But I was definitely more of like a feminine boy. When I was growing up, like because that femininity, I was told that it was wrong, I couldn't act it out. It kind of got buried somehow. But when I was able to come out and sort of embrace who I was in my identity, then, because now I do consider myself a masculine gay man, but I think because that feminine was sort of being repressed, it kind of came out more, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So you think Vietnam brought out your femininity?
Sometimes I think alcohol brings out my femininity more.
Glass of wine,
yeah.
and now I'm
And my gay friends and my girlfriends might bring out my femininity more, yeah. But I've gotten to a point I feel very comfortable with my masculine side and my feminine side as well.
Balancing it, is it hard?
No, like I think one place that it's hard is kind of the workplace. Like I never knew in an office setting, like a lot of times I think even after I was out, I would try to hide my feminine side because I didn't see it as professional or that it was maybe going to limit my success. But one of my mentors gave me the advice that kind of the more authentic you are, the more that people are going to like you and that they're going to want to work with you. So once I got that out of my head, I'm just as gay at the workplace as I am kind of in the streets.
I love that. It's such a success story to me.
Yeah, it took a while though. I mean, I think it's a journey, it's a process. I mean, even now I feel like because I'm a little bit, it's an interview setting, it feels somewhat formal, like I'm probably presenting more male than, but probably as things go on, maybe I'll be more feminine, we'll see.
Did you ever had a girlfriend? You tried to hide your true self?
Yeah, I had one girlfriend in particular that I tried to date her for a while, and I have this vivid memory. We went to the homecoming dance. It was my junior year, I think. Kind of in America, the tradition is like after the dance when you're that age, like you have sex or you hook up, at least something, right? And I remember she was outside, she parked the car, and she leaned over and she stuck her tongue in my mouth. And I ran out of the truck. I opened the door, I left the door open, I didn't say anything to her. I ran away, I ran into my house, and I felt so bad. We didn't last long after that. Yeah, I had girlfriends, but I was never sexually attracted to them. I knew by that point I was gay, it was just kind of like hiding
Get
it.
the tongue out, boy. Run.
Hopefully she doesn't see this, but...
When did you come out with your family?
So I came out when I was 17.
So coming out, was it hard to your family? Was it hard to anybody else?
I would say it was the hardest for my mom and my dad. So I was raised Mormon, if you know what that is. It's a strict religion. Yeah.
Mormon is very strict.
Yeah. But I was raised Mormon, like it was in that community until I came out. And that side was hard because I knew their belief system. I knew if I did decide to come out, a lot of the people that I've been friends with and had been my community for that long were gonna turn their backs on me. That's what I was afraid of. And it wasn't the case for everyone. It was the case for some people. It was still hard. Even you can try to emotionally prepare yourself for something like that, but it's difficult. And my dad, on the other hand, is like, he's just a manly Tongan guy. So in the Tongan culture, like, they don't really acknowledge gay as existing. Like there's trans people, funnily enough, but And they know what it is, but they don't necessarily acknowledge it. So I thought he would be disappointed in me. Like when we go back to talking about my childhood, like I feel like the one person who kind of discouraged me from being feminine. My dad even tried to give me a makeover one time to be more manly. Yeah, he took me shopping, he gave me a haircut. I was afraid that I would kind of ruin the dream that he had for like a masculine son. I'm an only child too, so there's kind of that pressure to carry on the family name, to have children, especially on my Tongan side. So
it's a little bit hard, hey? And when you came out, what happened? Like, can you tell me about the day?
Well, first of all, the reason I decided to come out was because I'd met my first boyfriend and I'd fallen in love. Eventually, I decided, even if I lost my friends, God forbid, like my parents didn't accept me, I had this love to fall back on. So that became more important than, and allowed me to kind of embrace my identity. So I decided to tell my mom first, and I asked her to go for a drive with me. I remember this very poignantly as well. We were driving around and I was sweating and nervous, clammy, and I told her finally, I said, "Mom, I have something I need to tell you." But I couldn't say it. So then she started to get all scared and she was like, "What is it?" And she's like, I know what it is. And she said, "You got a girl pregnant." And that was just funny to me that was her first thought. So then I was like, no, it's not that, definitely not that. So finally I was able to say I'm gay, and she was just quiet. And that silence was deafening and scary. I remember maybe she said she needed time. She didn't talk to me for about a week, and that week was really hard. But ultimately, now we have a good relationship. It just took a lot of time. And I know that's, other people have stories that are so much worse than that, so I'm just grateful that I'm in a good place with my parents now.
After a week, who broke the ice between you?
I think she did. I was waiting for her too. But the funny thing was, it wasn't like, hey, let's talk about you being gay. It was more like, let's sweep that under the rug and just, hey, do you want to have some breakfast? So it was kind of, she started acting normal, but there was a big elephant in the room, as we say, and we didn't really address that for a while.
Do you think now she's supportive of you having a loving gay relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a different boyfriend now, but yeah, she loves my boyfriend. We go and stay with my mom and stepdad. We have a dog, a fur baby, and she's even watching my dog right now. So yeah, my mom is very accepting. I know that it's somewhat in conflict with her religious beliefs, but I think we've gotten to as good of a place as we're going to.
And your dad?
Yeah, my dad is very good with it now. But it's still weird. So my Tongan family, all his brothers and sisters, his mom, they all live in Tonga, right? And I told you that they don't really acknowledge it there. So my dad is cool with it, but he doesn't necessarily want me to talk to his family about it. Or even when we go back to Tonga, the first time I went, he was like, hey, maybe don't talk about it. And that was weird because I'd been out for so long. So to meet my family and not be able to sort of embrace my identity, it felt really conflicting. So we're going back this Christmas, and I intend to just kind of be honest and transparent.
Bring your boyfriend and the dog.
Yeah, maybe not the dog. They eat dogs there, but my boyfriend maybe next time. Yeah, I want to ease them into it.
How long you and your boyfriend been together?
My boyfriend now, we've been together for 3 years. So I think it's 9 years in gay years, right? No, I don't know.
Wow, 9 years in gay love.
I just made the conversion up, but yeah.
And it's still loving, everything good?
Yeah, it's good. Actually, so when I moved back from Vietnam to the US in 2016, we met the first day, and we met at Gay Pride actually in Seattle, where I have a house. And through a friend of ours, and I mean, it sounds cheesy to say it was love at first sight, but it kind of felt like that. We just started making out at the bar, and I don't think either of us thought anything was gonna happen, but we hung out every day, and he lived in a different city, but we just kept talking, and eventually 1 month later we were together. 3 months later he moved in with me. I think a few months after that we got the dog, so things move very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they've just been going on and on.
Yeah, he's in the US. I travel a lot. We actually moved so I lived in Thailand for a bit, and we moved together. and now he's fully based in the US. He knows I need my freedom and to travel and to be in Asia sometimes, so he's very understanding.
After you first met, and did you guys have first kiss?
I think we met and then it was like first kiss right away. Yeah, like I don't even know if we started formally met before we started kissing. It might have been kiss before meet. I'm not sure.
Hello, what's your name? Hello, what's your name?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kind of like my girlfriend in high school, that kind of kiss, yeah.
Coming to the more nitty-gritty part.
Yeah.
When was your first experience with sex as a gay man?
Yeah, I think, oh God. So when I still lived at home, there was nothing called like there was no Grindr or apps or anything like that. There was a site called gay.com where you could go. My mom would be like shocked to see this. I was in a Mormon house using the internet. But just, I was so curious about like if there was other gays, because I was in a small town, so I wondered if there was other people. And so I got on this site, gay.com, and I met this other guy that lived a town away, so 30 minutes away. And so I thought like, eventually we talked on the phone. Then we decided to meet, and we went to a Safeway. You know what a Safeway? It's like a grocery store. We went to a grocery store parking lot, and he like gave me a blowjob in the car.
Parking lot?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a blowjob in a parking lot?
No.
I've given a blowjob in a parking lot.
Okay, I feel better now.
You did that?
Yes. Many times.
After the blowjob?
Yeah, so that was weird. It was awkward. I didn't really like him. But at that point I knew.
What, you didn't like him, but you do it?
Well, no, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, it was just, I think at that point I was excited to like, I knew that I was gay. Like I was sexually attracted to him. It felt good. So I was like, I guess happy to know that I was on the right track. Baby, I was born that way. Then after that, I kind of just felt like icky because like you said, I didn't really like him. I didn't want to pursue anything with him. Like afterwards, I talked to him and I thought he was annoying. So I kind of waited then till I went to college, and that's when I met my first boyfriend, my first love, and we were together for like 5 years. And that's the one who gave me the courage to come out of the closet. But yeah, my next sexual experience after that was when I lost my virginity with him.
With your college boyfriend?
With my college boyfriend, yeah.
Ooh, so
Yeah.
what does he look like? What was the like vibe back then? Was it like a let's get drunk? What happened?
What does he look like? He's white, like white, shorter, cute. It's funny because my first boyfriend and my current boyfriend, they have like the same name. No, it was like we would IM a lot. I feel like I'm dating myself by talking about these different things, but yeah, we would IM, so we kind of got to know each other over instant messaging. Eventually, like we got together. I went to his house, and I spent the night, quite a few nights, but we just kind of cuddled and kissed, but you know, felt each other's boners through the sheets a little bit, through our sweatpants. Heavy petting, they call it.
Do what?
Heavy petting.
Heavy petting.
Yeah.
Felt each other's bonus.
Just feel?
Yeah, they
Just
call
Yeah.
feel it?
hard
Yeah.
patting.
He tried to make it really romantic, like there was candles and music, like he was playing Sade, because he really liked Sade, and it was a little bit cheesy, and it was over, you know, pretty quick, but it was still memorable, and I'm glad that I lost my virginity with someone that I loved rather than that weirdo in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, I am thinking about your mom's reaction when she sees the show to the parking lot part. How could she react to that?
Let's continue with the conversation. You've been living in Vietnam for
Few years.
few years now,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know the LGBT community in Vietnam quite well now, right?
Yeah.
How can you compare that to how it is in USA or in Tonga?
So in the US, we always say, in big cities at least, there's a gayborhood.
Gayborhood.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's like a gay neighborhood, right? So it's like most of the gay people like either live there or go out there. So there's all these gay bars, but even the restaurants, it's like most of the gay people. And it's kind of like, because we were marginalized, it's like we took back a neighborhood or a community and said like, this is ours and we're gonna make it the best neighborhood in the whole city. In Vietnam, there's not as many, at least in Saigon, right? Like there's usually like 1 or 2 gay bars. But the nice thing about it here is like, I feel like I can go to any straight club and there is gay people there. So rather than the gay people all going to kind of one place, it's like they're kind of everywhere, which is not bad, it's just different. It's kind of cool. I think the other thing, like in the US, I remember, and when I moved here in 2013, it was something that was important to me. I said like, I'm not gonna live full time back in the US until gay marriage is legalized. And actually that happened in 2016, and I went back after that, and it was an amazing feeling, because that Pride we were all celebrating. When I met my boyfriend, everyone was celebrating gay marriage being legal. I just met him, so we weren't gonna propose at that time. But I say that because in the US, it's always felt like a big part of the gay community was activism and pushing for equal rights and making sure that we have visibility and that we're acknowledged by politicians and that we're pushing legislation forward. And in Asia, it doesn't seem like it's the same in terms of either it's not on the radar or it's not a priority. I don't know if it's fair to say it's not a priority, but I will say I felt like it's not really on the radar.
There needs to be a bigger need to talk about it for people to realize, hey, this is something important.
Yeah.
Because I know that you can marry in Vietnam, like you can have a gay wedding, but it's not legal.
Right.
Like, you can have the ceremony and everything and say that you're a gay married couple, but it's not legal.
Yeah.
You can't get legal forms for that.
It's not illegal, right? But it's not legal. That's still a big step forward. I remember when that happened.
So what is your plan in the near future?
My plan in the near future, so right now I'm based in the US, and I would love to, my dream is to have a job where I basically split time between Asia and the US. I don't know how fun. I have to get my boyfriend on board for that one. We're still talking it through. Like I mentioned, I mean, my boyfriend and I have talked about like everyone my age back in the US is getting married and having kids. I think I'd like to get married. I don't know about kids. I'm not sold on kids yet.
I want to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go. I want to, but just because I want to just be there. I want to know, are you going to wear a suit? Are you going to wear a wedding dress? What is the imagination?
Yeah, I think 2 suits definitely. But my boyfriend, maybe he'll do drag at the reception after. I'm not sure. He likes to get a little spicy with that sometimes.
And children? You said you want to have children?
I don't know about that. Like, there's something about, I love the idea of it. I think I'd make a great dad, but if I do it, I'd want to be full in. And because right now my lifestyle that I like is to travel a lot, I don't know if it would be fair to the kids. So
take them with traveling.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy on the plane with a baby.
Come on!
Yeah. No, you're right. It doesn't have to be so complicated, right? But
okay, well, it's time of the show where I give you a gift.
Oh.
So you get a gift from me and THÜN. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining our show.
Yeah, thank you both very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming with us and share your stories. Yeah.
You guys can check out our show on YouTube channel MCVMedia and Come Out LGBT Vietnam.
Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channels for more awesome videos. Now goodbye and see you then.